My name's Eleanor Price. I'm 71 years old, and I thought retirement would be peaceful. Gardening, tea on the porch, birds in the feeder. I never imagined I'd spend my golden years hunting my daughter-in-law's killers through 3 states. But that's what happens when the people you love most are murdered for money. Let me start at the beginning. The gift 3 months before my son Daniel died. He'd come to visit me with news big enough to change both our lives. He'd built a logistics software company from scratch. 10 years of hard work, failures, sleepless nights. Then, one bright April morning, he called, "Mom, they bought us out. $48 million. I can finally breathe." When Daniel showed up that weekend, his smile was the kind that lit a room. And behind him was Sabrina, his wife of 2 years, 31, perfect makeup, voice like honey poured over a knife. Over dinner, Daniel said, "I've got something for you. Consider it repayment for every night you worked overtime to feed me." He handed me a velvet folder. Inside, the deed to a white clapboard house on Hawthorne Lane, the same street I'd dreamed of living on when I was still teaching 3rd grade. "Danny, I can't." "You can. It's in your name. Call it an early retirement gift." Sabrina's smile didn't reach her eyes. "It's very generous, sweetheart," she said, squeezing his hand a little too tightly. I remember thinking she looked like someone watching her inheritance slip away. The crash 89 days later. Daniel was dead. Police said he lost control on a mountain road just outside Asheville, hit a guardrail at high speed, and was killed instantly. No skid marks. No brake lights seen by the truck driver behind him. At the hospital morgue, I kept expecting him to sit up, to laugh and tell me it was all a misunderstanding. But my son lay still, hands folded, wedding ring missing. When Sabrina arrived, she didn't weep. She performed. "Eleanor," she sobbed, mascara running in perfect black rivers. "We'll get through this together. He loved us both." She didn't smell like Daniel's cologne anymore. Something musky, masculine, foreign. The knock on my door. The day after the funeral, she came to my house. I was still in my robe, dishes from the wake piled on the counter. She knocked once and then let herself in, dragging a tall, rough-looking man behind her. "Eleanor, this is Trent," she said. "We need to talk about the property." "Property?" I asked. "The house," Trent said, running his thumb along the banister. "Nice place. Could use some renovation." I blinked. "Daniel gave me this home." Sabrina laughed, a brittle sound. "Actually, sweetheart, he was planning to reverse that. Said he'd been manipulated. I'm sure you understand." My voice trembled. "You're lying, am I?" she purred. "Look, Daniel's gone. Things have to move forward. Trent and I are moving in next week. The sooner you pack, the easier it'll be." They left a minute later, gravel crunching under Trent's boots. Through the window, I watched her climb into Daniel's car, my son's car, and drive away. Something inside me hardened. They thought I was weak. They forgot I'd raised Daniel alone while juggling 2 jobs and 30 unruly students a day. I'd fought tougher bullies than these. The cameras my friend Martha, a retired detective, owed me a favor. Within 48 hours, my home was wired. 4 button-sized cameras hidden in the vents and light fixtures. A secure feed uploaded everything to the cloud and my laptop. Friday noon, Sabrina and Trent moved in. I moved out, with my suitcase and a plan. That night, in a cheap motel on the edge of town, I opened my laptop. On screen, my kitchen. Sabrina in silk pajamas, Trent shirtless, beer in hand. They laughed as they toasted. "To new beginnings?" Trent said. "To easy money," she replied. I hit record, the confession around 10 p.m. Trent made 3 phone calls. One to Greg, arranging pickup of some papers. Another to a local insurance agent, my son's agent. And the third to someone saved as babe. "You won't believe it," he said into the phone. "The old lady's out. The payout's clear in 3 weeks. We just gotta keep quiet." Sabrina slid into his lap. "And Daniel?" Trent smirked. "Let's just say he shouldn't have mixed tequila with that anxiety pill." Sabrina's reply turned my stomach. "Good." He was starting to ask too many questions. The threat eye took the footage straight to Detective Riley, the one who'd handled Daniel's crash. He listened politely, then shook his head. "Mrs. Price, I'm sorry, but recordings made without consent aren't admissible. Best to let it go?" "Let it go?" I hissed. "They murdered my son. When I got home, there was a note slid under my motel door. Accidents happen twice." "Stay quiet, Granny. I didn't sleep that night. The trap eye called Martha. They're planning something. I need help. We spent 2 days setting a legal sting. Martha's nephew, a tech whiz, planted microphones in a warehouse scheduled for demolition. I sent Trent a text from an anonymous number. Heard you've got problems with Eleanor. Meet me at the old lumber warehouse 3 p.m. Friday. I can help. A friend." At 3 p.m. sharp, Trent's truck rolled in. I stepped from the shadows. He froze. "Eleanor? What the hell, looking for me?" I asked. "Let's talk." He reached for something under his jacket. Before he could move, the lights snapped on and Martha's team stepped out, badges raised. "Police! Hands where we can see them?" They got him alive and talking. Under questioning, Trent bragged. About spiking Daniel's drink. About sabotaging his car brakes. About splitting insurance money with Sabrina, every word legally recorded.